We're going to get one last day of practice with volume for our test on. So one of the main or primary types of problems you can see are the problems like this that we've done with how many boxes or cubes fit inside of a larger rectangular prism. So step one is always find the volume of our big rectangular prism, our big box. To find the volume, we do length times width times height. So go ahead, get the volume. $140. All right, so we do 9 times 3 1/3 times 4 2/3, and we got 140. The next step is our cube. Whatever it says the side length is, you have to multiply the length, width, and height, which all are the same on a cube. So we've got 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. That is 1/27. Fractions straight across top, straight across bottom. Now, what we're trying to find out is how many times the tiny cubes go into the bigger rectangular prism. When you're trying to figure out how many times something goes into something, that's division. So we do that, what do we get? 3,780. That's a lot of tiny cubes inside of a big box, right? But that's how these problems work. When you're dividing by a fraction, it's going to get the number pretty big. And the bigger the denominator is on that fraction, the bigger that number is going to end up being for your answer. Any questions on that? We've done problems like that. It's just going through the 3 steps, right? Adding a little bit of an adjustment and doing a similar problem. So this says a rectangular prism, or a right rectangular prism, all that means is it's like a regular box, is made up of 50 cubes. Each cube has an edge length of 1/2 inch. What is the volume of the prism? So it's already telling you how many of the tiny cubes are in that box, right? And it's asking us for the volume. So we're kind of going backwards, aren't we? The last problem we were trying to find how many tiny cubes, right? This tells us the number of tiny cubes. In math, when we go backwards, remember we do the opposite, right? Well, that last problem, at the end we divided, right? Opposite of division is multiplication. So we still have to take our tiny cube and get the volume. So we do 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. Yes, and that's 1/8. So there's my volume for the tiny cube. Now, like I said, we're doing opposite, so we're multiplying. We've got 50 cubes times our volume. This is going to end up as not a whole number. And that is the volume of our prism. This would be in cubic inches also if it was labeled. Any questions on that? Not a very difficult problem to do, is it? It's different though, right? It's different than what we had done. All right, y'all go ahead and try that one. All right, who thinks they've got it? 54. 54 is correct. Step one, volume of the tiny cube. So 3/4 times 3/4 times 3/4. If you keep that as a fraction, that gives you 27/64. Then we multiply the number of cubes times our tiny cube's volume. When we multiply it out, that's how we get that 54. Any questions on that?